Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Let's always make sure that we've got a live stream here because, well, you never know. Okay, it looks like we are up and running. Hooray. Okay, yay. Okay, so I've put notices out on all my social media. Alright, so let's talk about MotoWave, Black Friday sale. You're hearing them all. MotoWave has their own 30% off, motowave.com for more. We got our own stuff. You want to know more about the world we live in, get yourself some free books. Join the quantlabs.net 5-cent army, just like what you get on that thing. Anyways, if you got questions, you want to talk to me, you can come over to quantlabs.net/questions. And above all, please do so. I do actually talk to people, and I learn a lot from them as well. Had a very nice conversation with people from Thailand, Malaysia, tomorrow night, Australia, and we have our usual big sale coming up. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so if you've read my description, life is not fair. And when you go into things like Yahoo, I just checked the markets. I didn't really care what was happening in the markets. I'm getting to that point. I mean, look at all the red. Dow down, S&P down, NASDAQ up, 0.5%, Russell down 0.5%. Crude oil 1.68. Weren't they talking about, oh, everything's all good there? Look at gold, 0.1%. Then, of course, silver's down. The bonds are down. That's not supposed to happen. Forex, forget it. Bitcoin is down quite a bit, almost 5%, as well as the crypto 200 down 9.33. Funny enough, my Binance bot today so far since midnight has been returning 5%. So I got something to be proud of there. All right, so let's see what's going on in the market. Okay, and now if you're new to this, how it works, harmonic scans on MotoWave. We want this target to be higher than the current price. Simple as that. So let's check her out. You can see here we have an excellent score. This one looks okay. I rarely see this. Is the USD Denmark. Now this one coming up is gold and Canadian dollars. I have a funny feeling that's going to be a long. Okay. How did I know that? Because I'm starting to think, and I've said this all week, that the Canadian dollar might be a safe haven now. We shall confirm that later on. We have here silver and euro. I think that's going to be a short. There you go. It's a short. Not good. Australia, Hong Kong dollar. I think that's a short. Again, a short. Australia USD. I think. No. Oh my God. It's a short. So things are getting a little topsy turvy there. This euro Canadian will be. Hello, Umar. Thanks for joining the chat. I appreciate it. We should play a game if you want. I'll let you decide on the next few calls here. Still doing the good work. I appreciate that, dude. Australia, US dollar, again, we know it's a short. Euro Canadian, I think it's a short. Oh my God, it's a long. So that says something that the Canadian dollar could be a safe haven. That's kind of funny, I think. Now, this one's definitely going to be a long. As you can see here, it's got some nice bar moves there. I kind of suspect this in the last few months that people will park money into currencies, and it's going to be currencies based on countries of clean balance sheets. So far, so good. Proud of you, USD. Yep. I think there might be a long on the USD Canadian because of oil, but oil did tank like I showed earlier. New Zealand, another short. All the markets are not looking good. Anything in Singapore dollars not looking good either. There you go. It's a down. Now we got our usual culprits here. We have the bonds, the UK, and then the Treasury. Here we go. This will be a long. Looking good. And this is what we're looking for. It's a 4-hour chart. Don't forget it. Yen, New Zealand. I might get to that, Umar. We'll see. You can see there it's been steadily coming up. 30-year, same, but it's flatlining, but it's not tanking. 2-year, that's looking pretty good because it's a short term maturity. Usually it's supposed to be longer term is a higher spike or a higher leg up, but we'll see. 5 year, I'm surprised but the 10-year, 30-year, that's not so good. So it's a 2-year, it's stronger, oddly enough. We do live in a topsy-turvy world these days in 2020. Thanks for everybody joining us so far. If you got anything to say, please type it up in the chat. I'll gladly answer any questions you might have. I'll do another chat after this about crypto as well. Okay, so showing you all the bonds here in Treasury. Here's the Denmark again. That's a long. Natural gas, I don't think. Actually, it might be. Yeah, it was a long last yesterday, and as you can see, it is a long. This is a short for sure. As you can see, that's wheat US dollar, corn US dollar as well as short. Funny enough that agriculture's out there, but it's not. I like to focus on the top ones. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Australia and New Zealand should be good. I was hoping to see this move up. It hasn't, but from the amount of calls that were made a few days ago, I really thought that this would be doing pretty good. This is the Australian, New Zealand. Australia, Swiss franc. You can see that's pointed down. So we have that. And then the Canadian, Japanese yen. Boy, oh boy. Not doing too good. With the yen, it looked like it was going to come back, but we're not seeing it. Now here's something I want to show you. This is how bad the markets are right now. See the amount of excellence we have? Usually we should have a lot more than that, and it's mostly, as I said, currencies, and usually the currencies in with a really good, clean balance sheet in the country. So that's what's being looked for. Okay? So continuing along, let's see what else, fun stuff in the very goods. Australia, New Zealand should be okay. Okay, you got some longs there. Australia CHF, of course, is a short. Canadian Japanese yen short. I'm not a fan of short, just so you know. Canadian CHF down. NASDAQ down again. UK 100 markets down. This is down. It's all down. British pound down against the USD. And another thing I want to make sure people understand is when it comes to the US dollar doing very badly, which it has been, and you can see that not a lot of hot capital flow is going into the US dollar. As a result, what happens is there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to escape. But I'll show you one that I think may come up. Now, again, British pound, New Zealand. New Zealand's probably one of the stronger currencies. But again, look, it's just not going anywhere. Okay, British pound and Canadian, got short there. British pound against the Japanese yen. It's just, I don't know why. This should be moving up like it has been. But it's been going down, and it's shortened. The short outlook. So that shouldn't be happening. But the ones that I've shown you with the excellent have been consistent. Norway is probably one of your better bets. British pound, the Australian, this shouldn't be happening. It looks like the Australian market is starting to not perform like it was last week. Now here's one that Umar mentioned here is the USD Canadian. That's an oil trade. Again, it's still long, but just look, it's just been trending down. Don't know. This one, I'm hoping up. This is what I saw a few days ago. This was what really excited me, that this USD Japanese yen would move up. But again, it's trending down since that big bar. Now this one, again, pointing down, just going nowhere. I don't know why. That's USD Swiss franc. Now this one, again, same story. This should be moving up. So U.S. bonds are open interest now, no longer risk reversion. I agree. I think a lot of people are starting to park their money, but most of it's going into crypto. I'll mention that in the crypto stream after this. China bonds are no longer heavier to hold on for U.S. Treasury. I'm hoping to see the the yuan here, and I'll talk about that in a minute, Umar. So this one I skipped. This one, you can see that long. This should be moving up. Okay, it may long term. Same with the Swedish as well. That's what I was hoping to see. Mexican peso, just been dying. It's just anything USD is just dying. But you can see here that the Canadian dollar and gold, the gold and Canadian dollar has a long, but nowhere. This is typical. We have a long here on, and now I've talked about this before. Gold silver ratio is a good one to get into. I've shown this before. Let me see here. Where's my? Okay, so if I was to roll it back to March, okay, you can see here. Let me just go back to 1 week, let's say. So if I showed you March right here, you see what happened. It's a nice place to be in if you can find it as Zowanda and look for the gold silver ratio. That's a really good one to play. And you can see here it's been kind of moving on up, zigzagging, but I think this will start to move up as the markets are starting to show weakness. So regarding China again from Umar, because if you think about it, before the China trade wars in pre-Trump era, they were expensive to hold. Now we don't need to pay them back. I see. Okay, that's true. But this is one thing you could look for, is to see how certain coins are gold is working or silver is working in certain currencies. That's another way to measure safety. As Umar says, all this is supposed to be performing, and it's not. This is the problem. Like gold, silver should be doing well, and it's not. And part of the speculation is that trading desks are suppressing the price. And one guy on my Facebook said that one of the banks were busted. There's like a whole cartel of them suppressing the price of silver for whatever reason, whatever the motive is. That's up to them. But that's one of the reasons why it's not performing. XAG, Singapore dollar, and Singapore dollar, Hong Kong dollar is not doing that well either. Here you have Australian Swiss franc, not doing too good there. This one should be doing well, and I would expect it to do well, as the Australian New Zealand. Not it's just flat, but it has a long. Australia New Zealand again, Singapore, it's going to drop. I know I missed something here. Okay, so we have here another market here. This is a short with EU 50. Euro against the Denmark pointing down. Euro against the Hong Kong pointing down. Okay, let's stop here. I want to mention this one. I'll get to that in a minute, Umar. Okay, so you have here the Euro, Hungarian dollar, or whatever the currency is called. This one has been doing really good. Okay, this one might be a surprise for a lot of people. Okay, this is the Euro against Hungary. Okay, I don't know what's going on in Hungary, politically or economically, but that will definitely be one to watch. Okay, I've been watching that one. Umar, don't worry. I completely appreciate you chiming in. That's awesome. Don't worry about it. I'm just going through the list here, and we can do a free wheel after this. But Euro, Swedish, not doing good. Now, here's one that's another surprise that may surprise, is the Euro Turkish lira. Okay, I don't know again, but Turkish lira has been suddenly moving in the last week. Okay, so if anyone can help me out there, I really appreciate it. Euro against the US dollar. You got UK 100 down. So here comes the markets now. Again, NASDAQ down. British pound against the Australian down. These were like supposed to look really good. Okay, so we have another one. US or the Russell 2000 down. Okay, so this is the one I want to talk about, and I'm gonna answer some of the questions for Umar. Okay, so here you can see China has been flat. Okay, there's a couple of things that we need to talk about here. You would expect, and I hope, I shouldn't say this, hope, not hope, but to have a place where you have a place to perform, okay? I could talk about the politics of it, and I no longer think it's conspiracy theory. China's behind all these things that are going on in the world. They're hoping to get their digital yuan, the new one that comes out, to be the new reserve currency. So they're doing whatever it takes to ruin the U.S. Okay, I can go on about the conspiracy theories after. But just right now, you would expect the Chinese yuan to do really well. I put up a video a few days ago regarding AAA bonds of China, of these energy companies, of coal companies, and they're also state-controlled. And these are AAA. To have problems, but the Chinese government, the CCP, is definitely holding back there. So be on the lookout for that kind of news. Okay, let's go back to Umar's stuff. All right, let's see here. So he said, we don't need to pay them back. Now China bonds are risk-free for U.S. to hold. As I said, I don't think I'd want to hold anything Chinese bond-wise. I don't mind being exposed to the yuan if I was to. But from what I'm seeing since the last November 18th, the yuan should be taken off by now, and it's not. And there's a variety of reasons because of these bond ready to blow up Chinese bond stories, and they may blow up, but we may never hear about it because, well, it's a CCP. Now the question is, can we trust them? I don't think so, but nonetheless, China could be ready to blow up. And if I see more stories like that, I'll post them. So Umar says, while U.S. Treasury can remain in recovery and move sideways in terms of long-term outlook, it should behave as per economic. Let's see here. Okay, the U.S. Treasury, in terms of long-term outlook, it should behave as per economic safety. Economic safety tells us. Yeah, you would think, but the problem is we're living in an upside world with this pandemic and so many other political things going on. So that's all I can really say. There was a war in Armenia and Belarus. I'd like to look at Estonia, Liat, and think it is. Haha, Estonia's Euro. Damn, I forgot. I think anything in Europe you got to stay away from. Anything in the West you kind of got to stay away from because of debt and national debt. That is. That's why they're talking about the Great Reset. It's to wipe away the debt, and China's behind all that too because they're the ones probably one of the largest sponsors of the IMF. So they're setting the rules. I know screw CT. I agree. Because China, you will only perform on strength of China output looks negative or going down. Right. So again, that's how U.S. dollar stays afloat, even though it is tanking. And I think that's one of the big reasons why crypto's like moving like the way it is. More things. USB 10 years moving up a little bit, but not moving as much as you'd think. We've already talked about U.S. Canadian. USD CHF down. What's going on here? USD Japan down. This should be really this should be moving up. These are safe haven defensive plays. Okay, as I said, that's an upside down world. But there is a long on the Mexican peso with the U.S. dollar. This is the one I think that there will be some good news out there is Norway, because I've been reading a lot of Umar says CHF follows gold. That's true, because for a little while gold in CHF or Swiss franc was doing okay, and that was because Switzerland is the largest holder of gold in the world, privately in the world, and that's one of the reasons why I think that relationship, why gold and Swiss franc went up. Everything was all looking not good, and security. So yeah, as Switzerland, but I do think that Switzerland is not the premier country as it used to be. I'm not seeing Switzerland out there a lot, as it should. And I can't say why. I think it's just monetary policies with the Swiss National Bank. But what do I know? Great reset. Swedish, again, there's a long there, but no performance. We have a weird one, USD in Singapore. I wouldn't pay any attention to this. Okay. Now, this is the one to watch. As I said, there's Hungary and Turkey. Yeah, as Umar says, gold is risk averse to S&P and gold global securities. I wouldn't say that much, but it's supposed to be now, or the more modern way of saying, gold is risk averse or an indirect relationship with the US dollar. And that's probably one of the reasons why the US dollar is tanking, and gold should be going up as a result. But it's Bitcoin. And I could talk about that in my crypto stream. USD South. Okay, so here's the wild ones. We got the Turkish lira coming around. The South African rand. It looked good. But guess what? It's not bouncing back. So it had potential. It's the same with India. India could have done the same. This one is interesting. Sugar was one of these unknown winners out there. Okay, you could see that rise between September until lately. So this one may start to perform a little bit. So I'm now talking Hungary, maybe Turkey or Turkish lira, and sugar. Okay, so these are not secrets that I'm holding back. Okay, but that's what I've been seeing, and this could be a long one too. And as I also said, the gold-silver ratio. So there is hope out there for people. Wheat, again, look at that big drop there on those last few bars. Again, agriculture is not the place to be. But we have a lot of very goods here, which is good. CHF. Hang on here. Umar says, suggestion with every asset class, we account every viable commodity to look into specifically when shit's hitting the fan. So I'm going to show that, Umar, but YouTube's not liking your little potty words there. So, but I approved it. Okay, so I hope that's not a strike against me and my YouTube. So that's okay though. Okay, going back to CHF's South Africa rand. Nah. Socks or sucks, I'm not sure. Canadian, again, Swiss franc down. Well, look at that. Canadian and Hong Kong is holding its own. So that could be a surprise. Japanese yen trending down. Canadian dollar is looking interesting to watch. British pound, the Japanese yen down. British pound, see there's a long there, but look at it's just been trending down. And this is the British pound and the New Zealand dollar. British pound and the US dollar short. Now let me talk about the British, because I think that has something to do with let's say the good old Brexit. If there's a positive Brexit, I do predict that Britain will be placed to really watch. You know, with the politics and the social decline that the U.S. is kind of going in, it's going into this terminal decline. Okay, and a lot of people might not like to hear that, but I'm not here to make it. I'm trying to tell the real deal. And with Joe Biden in there, if you really want it or not, it's another story, but it does factor in confidence worldwide. So that's why I think the U.S. dollar is going down, among other things, where the national debt that the U.S. has. New Zealand and Swiss franc, that should be moving on up. It's got a short. New Zealand, again, the Japanese yen short. Look at that. Singapore against Hong Kong, not good. Canadian dollar against Japanese, not good. British pound against the Australian dollar, not looking good. Got short there. Again, we have another long for the U.S. Canadian, so there might be hope there if the oil price goes up. But what you see here is you've not seen oil go up. So now, as I said, we're moving into the good. So if anyone has anything to say, I'll gladly address it. If not, I'll end the stream and I'll be back in the next couple of minutes or 15 minutes or so to do the crypto stream and my thoughts, because Bitcoin has dropped, and I really want to specifically talk about the DeFi and alternative coins, because they have performed really good today, where that little bot returned 5%, but the other one, the Kraken bot that trades Bitcoin and Ethereum, had another small loss. It terminated a loss to prevent bigger losses. And even if I wanted to hope for a profit for tonight, where Bitcoin is coming back, it's got a long ways to do to make some money. But who knows, by midnight my time, it may be profitable. But looks like there's no chitty chat at all. Let's see, I don't see anything new there in the chat. So I'll end it. Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for my next crypto. If you're on any of my social media, Facebook or Twitter or whatever, I'll put an announcement on that as well. But thanks for watching. I think this process looked good. All right, talk to you later. Over and out.